Yay! I'm live on my own channel. Woo! Looks like the strike is finally over. Yay! But you know what? I actually have a topic, right? It's amazing. Midnight actually has a topic. Let's see if we can stick to it without going off the rails. Now you may be wondering, okay, why the fuck is he doing this at like 8 a.m.? And I answer, why not? But Oink, hey, Math Pig, what's up? Kind of hungry. I should probably eat something before going on a monologue. But yeah, I'm sure it's fine. No, the reason why I made the stream is because I look. I get why tribalism exists, right? Like you want a solution is cancel all sport. On my lunch, could jump in for a bit. All right. Fuck it. You know what? Whatever. I'll just post the link. Wait, how the fuck did I post the link in here? Mathpick, did you get your Discord back? Because I could just send it on Discord. I'm on mobile right now because I still haven't fixed. I still haven't bought the a new router. I don't know. Uh, um. Uh. Are you on Google? Like I'm. Let me see. Hey Sammy, hold on a sec. Okay, search. Uh. All right, I just sent you a message on Google, on Gmail. Hopefully you got it. Uh, oh, okay. I guess Twitter works. What's your Twitter again? Matt Pig. What's your Twitter again? Oh well, I don't know. People can change their stuff on Twitter. Wrong one. That's what I needed. Sorry. Let's see. Twitter. Uh, let's see. Let's search. Math. Pig. Okay, I sent it to Matt. Wait, no, I'm not even following. Uh, this is annoying. Mobile's annoying. Okay, at Master. Hold on. Bear with me. Okay, I found at MathPig3. I guess that's yours. I'm not following, so now I am. Follow me back so I can send you the link. Yeah, you know what, Sammy? That's what it feels like with being on mobile. I can't send it where the fuck it is. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's the one. All right. Um, crap, I'm gonna have to do this again. Yeah, cancel midnight. Thank you. Definitely. Shouldn't you be sleeping, old man? I think you should be sleeping. All right, Mafig, I sent you the link on Twitter. Pardon my out of breathness. Still, still a piggy. Then again, Matt Pig is the pig here, so I guess it doesn't count. Okay, there we go. Oh wait, hold on. Here we go. Good morning, Matt Pig. Even though it's afternoon for you. Hello. Okay then. Hello. Your audio sucks. Okay, well, that that worked out.
Try that now. How's that work?
Yay, your audio, you're live.
Yeah, no, no, for whatever reason, the phone was connecting to the Bluetooth and it's in my bag. So, hello.
I am, I am sleeping, but I can cancel you from my bed. Okay, okay, Speed, whatever you say.
So, yeah, it's quarter past 1 in the afternoon for me now. Day's nearly over.
So how you been anyway? I know this stream is about something else, but figured I might as well
Oh,
catch up first.
I'm just sort of getting by as best I can. Life is life.
Yep, life is life. No, never a better way of putting it.
I don't know. I'm working on some few things of a new intro there, and I'm maybe going to work on the website, and I don't know of a few things. I'm feeling that YouTube is just not the right way anymore. I don't really. I don't know. It seems that every single stream is about somebody fighting about something. And yeah, I'm trying my best to remove all the negativity from my life. My tablets are working well. I'm a lot happier with my daughter and stuff. And yeah, I'm not going to surround myself with bad, negative feelings anymore.
Oh no, I completely get that, dude. It's just like I, I don't know. I used to be. I'm Superman, and you're Krypton. Fuck you, Speed. You're not Superman. But yeah, no, being around negativity isn't really good for anyone, right? Some people seem to thrive on negativity, though, which is
Very much so.
odd.
Attention, negativity, come look at me, you know? So
Yep. I'm like, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm 38. I gotta do something with my fucking life. What the fuck have I ever done so far?
yeah, no, I don't know. I'm thinking of maybe a forum or maybe building an app for the phone or something like, staying because I do still want to stay in contact with people that I've made connections with. But YouTube is, and if you look at the statistics, YouTube has been dropping in profit this last 3 years running. They're down again another 2.5%. People are not sticking around anymore.
Well, why would they? This place has become communist Russia. Well, you can't say anything without being canceled.
Well, that's not true. I can say and talk and I say my things and you swear and blood. If you're a dickhead, you can't say things like, but I have not been restricted in anything that I say and I say my mind, I haven't been restricted by YouTube. People have restricted me. People have a problem with what I say, but YouTube doesn't seem to be.
Well, that's you, but there are a lot of people who can't even talk about uh, I don't know Nazis without not, the history of Nazism without getting YouTube getting like antsy about it.
Well, I don't. I'm not sure. I listened to two documentaries today. One on Hitler and what his beginnings before that, and I listened on another one on your boy Van Brown. And yeah, thousands upon hundreds of thousands of views on a million plus channel. No problems talking about it. It's all down to the context.
Yeah, it's just YouTube has done a lot of really shady shit over the years. They gotten rid of channels that didn't need to be got rid of because they were right wing extremists. Like, oh, okay, what made them extremists? Like, I don't know. It's just dumb at times.
I don't know. Nazis have been done to fucking death. Why talk about them? You want to go to the history? I'd say go to the history channel, but don't. You know, just more fucking drama. Let's scream about the Nazis and how they picked on certain people and this, that, and the other, and all the rest of it. Hey, wow. We've all had that conversation before.
Right, but this is going to be. Hold on.
I'm still here.
Well, no, yeah, I'm just looking at the comments. I am Awaken event, unfortunately. Uh, well, okay. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, people are going to talk about some things that had happened years ago. The people still talk about them. Like, you know what I mean? Like you say, like, what's the point of talking about Nazis when they've been done to death? Okay, well, religion has been done to. Actually, no,
Mhm.
that might not be a good comparison.
Well, it is a good comparison. That's an awful lot. It's 90% of the community is what people put out is all hate religion or love religion. There's no let's
Yep.
talk about it. It's an awful lot of screaming from one side and screaming from the other side, and tribalism is getting unbelievable. I'll send you a video. The introduction I'm working on. I'm still working on some wordage to put on it, but I've finished the main video. But yeah, everybody's just like YouTube's not real life, man. YouTube's for shits and giggles. You know, this people who take it serious and go, "Oh shit, this happened." No, who gives a fuck? It's YouTube. It's not important. If YouTube's important to you, you need to lift your head up and look outside at the real world.
Yeah, I need to touch grass, as the cool kids say.
Yep, I'm hoping to spend this weekend. I have no daughter this weekend, so I'm going to spend this weekend building a new built-in wardrobe sort of unit and all for my bedroom. I've been collecting wood at work that comes in, all the hardwood that comes in at work, stacking all the steel. You should see the fucking stack of stuff I have of about 200 quid's worth. So I'm hoping the boss will let me take it out and load it into my car today, and then I'll be building tomorrow. That's hopefully what I'm going to be doing.
That's good. I mean,
Elena's doing fantastically. She's coming on great. I'm hoping to get her a wee quad for Christmas, so and get that all sprayed pink for her. So
well, it's good. It's good. It's good to have shit outside the internet to recharge and whatever, because it's like, it's a good thing.
yeah, it's this. This is not worth the stress. It's not worth anything anymore.
Yeah, not really. Frankly, I don't even know why the hell I made this stream in the first place. I mean, I kind of know, but
Probably
then I'm like, why?
it's nice.
Go ahead.
It's nice and early. None of your trolls are here to scream at you because it's so early.
Well, there's one in the chat now.
Sam's not a troll. Sam just doesn't like it.
Well, then what's the difference?
One's for shits and giggles. The other one just doesn't like it. Are you doing anything this weekend?
Nothing much. Just just studying, just reading about stuff. I've been looking into learning 3D graphics. You know what I mean? It's a little math involved.
Cool.
Uh, Go ahead.
No, no, I just said cool.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
always cool to.
demanding. Will you want a link now? It's like what the fuck? You could ask for a link nicely.
Hello, Gio.
Hello, Gio. How you doing?
Well, that's me. I've got to be back at work for past. I have to sneak out and go round the corner to get a fucking joint. I'm looking up the street. There's about three of us from work, all slipped out. Goes to this wee car park.
Hmm. I don't know. When I was younger, I wanted to like smoke weed, right? But now that I'm like older, I'm like, eh, no, I guess not for me. I do want to try edibles one day, but edibles are
Well,
like,
my ma takes it now, and she would take the THC the odd time, but she was CBD and stuff like that for her medication, like and she didn't start till she was near 60. Like,
uh, I always did want to try psychedelics though.
I don't know. I think I would have a bad trip.
Eh, probably.
My brain doesn't like me. My subconscious doesn't like me. So giving my subconscious full reign would probably not be good. Well, I have to be back at work in a couple of minutes, so I just wanted to pop in, say hello. I
Yep.
still haven't
Take
got
care of
Discord
yourself.
working. I don't know what the fuck is with Discord. I can't get into my second authorization to get the codes, and I need the second authorization to get into that to get the codes to put it back on my phone.
I wonder who technically has more Irish blood, me or Mephi. That was
Oh,
the Milky Gate.
I would put money on it. Me.
Blood test.
In saying that, it's mostly Scottish and European on my granny's side.
Well, have fun at work.
Driving back now, so I shall talk to you all later.
Bye.
If you're not doing that tomorrow, man, give me a shout or something on Twitter. We'll maybe sort of hang out Saturday night or something after get all the work done. Like.
Yeah, now that you followed me back, I was like, okay.
All right, talk to you there.
Bye. Okay, now that that detour was done, it's like, as I was trying to say, I get, look, you, love you. Okay, yeah, love you, Mappic. Love you, up. I don't know. But basically, what I'm trying to say, I mean, sure, I guess it will definitely showcase what I'm trying to say here about tribalism. And it's like, oh, hey, you know what? You cannot hang out with that person because that person is bad for the tribe. So if you hang out with that person, you are bad for the tribe as well. So, you know, ugh, I hate tribalism, but I understand the necessity of it. Hold on. Where the fuck are you? There, I said it. And now we play the waiting game. How do you do, Kryptonite?
Good morning.
Good
What's going
morning. What was that?
Good morning.
What's up?
Nothing. I just took a shit. And now I'm watching Super Mario Brothers 1991. And my
Oh,
son could not fucking care less. And that is the appropriate response.
oh, you mean the cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, you know
takes me
Toad,
back.
Gay Ouija, the whole thing. Yeah. That all of the fucking memes from the early 2000s.
I mean, have you seen the new movie yet?
No, I haven't. I meant to, but my son is still too small to have an attention span long enough to actually sit and watch the fucking thing.
I mean, I haven't watched it, but I've seen so many memes of
I don't care about the song. I listened to the whole song. It's okay.
you didn't let me
And,
finish. I'm
uh,
talking about I saw memes of shipping Luigi and Bowser. That's the memes I'm talking
oh,
about.
I haven't seen that. I don't know. Spoilers. Jesus Christ. Don't ruin my.
So the fake Jew gets the link. Lame.
Yeah,
Dude,
actually,
Sam,
that's
what
part of the
right do
reason
you
I
have to
wanted to.
say?
That's part of the reason I wanted to fucking be here is because I wanted to piss off Sam. You know what's funny is my mom, because this is why I was. This ties into a lot of things actually. My mom took a DNA test because I took mine like years ago, and she's like, "Well, I want to know which Jews we're related to," and somebody's DNA test is lying because Ancestry is saying it's Jews from Germany. That's her test. And my test is saying no, it's Jews from Eastern Europe.
I mean,
Like,
why can't it be both?
I mean, it could be, but it's not in. There's no overlap. There's Jews in there. It's just which
Hmm.
Jews. And I'm really hoping, for the sake of everyone, really, that it's Eastern Europe. For well, you know what? They're both fucked up, but you know what I mean. Like, no, I don't want to be like. I don't want to be that guy where I'm like, ooh, the Holocaust,
Well,
because
I mean, I
you
mean,
know who the Jew is in the woodpile, right? And I
well,
know that they changed their name 3 fucking times, right? And I just, realistically, because I'm a normal human being, I don't want to have like my family had Holocaust survivors. I don't want to be that guy. I don't even want to like be able to bring that up if because I will be tempted to use it. I will.
well, I mean,
So
I just wanted to say really quick, Sam, what gives you authority to say that Will is, is a fake Jew, other than you not liking him? That's what I'd like to know. Like, what if somebody accused you of being a fake Jew? Like, am I crazy here, Will?
I mean, I don't know. I don't. His qualification is Jews he likes. So George Soros,
Yeah, but
I
that's
guess.
the point I was making, right? Like, what gives him authority to say you're
It's
not
just
really Jewish?
scientists. It's just scientist Sam and George Soros. Those are the only real Jews. That's the only two.
Oh, okay. So you wanted this reaction. So okay, so we'll just ignore you from now on.
Yeah, he's just being annoying.
Ugh.
Funny. I'm part of the reason that I'm here is yes to annoy scientist Sam, but
I mean, I could let him on if you want.
if you want to let scientist Sam in to tell me what a real Jew is, if he's got a definition, that'd be great. I mean, I try to keep halakha as best as I can. I have DNA.
This
I've
wasn't
got
the point of the fucking stream, but whatever.
I've got papers that show ports of entry. I don't know what more. I don't. Oh, because what? I come online and I make myself a
I'm
shanda.
about to give you a link, Sam. Chill.
I make myself a shanda before these fucking lovely Gentile goys. I don't know, or goyim rather. It's like whatever. It's because I was in my late 20s when I fucking started taking an interest in the fact that I had Jewish DNA, and now what I'm LARPing. Is that it? I was in my 20s.
Apparently.
I was more interested in getting laid and doing drugs. And then I became an adult. I wanted to get married, have children, own property. I didn't want to rent for the rest of my life. Fuck me for trying to better myself and have some goddamn rules. Not like I'm out here like some evangelical being like, well, Goyim, you ought to convert to Judaism. Oh, do I not do the accent? Is that really what it is? I'm from New York, for Christ's sake. Imak Shemo Zekro. Does that make you? I'm speaking fucking Hebrew now. Are we? You want me to do some brachot? I'll eat some fucking grapes, boy. Pi hadama, Or I was trying to think of a fucking fruit that was not of the vine.
Here it is.
There we go.
Sorry.
What's,
Here he is.
Pineapple, not of the vine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a
If
dumb
you've
one.
ever seen a pineapple plant.
What?
So,
What
Will,
the fuck
typical,
is it?
like a good idea. I'm doing dishes, so I apologize for background noise.
That
But
was, what the fuck kind of dishwasher sounds like that? What the fuck?
my sink.
Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. What is wrong with this sink? Is there a
Just a
leak?
normal sink.
Oh, that was really, it sounded like a power drill.
No, I just have a good
Yeah,
microphone
right.
on these headphones, thankfully.
Thank God I wasn't wearing earbuds. Okay, so what's up?
But I think if I'm gonna give you any tips, I would just not emphasize Hanukkah because that's actually in Jewish theology a minor holiday.
Okay.
I would emphasize
I
the
like
high
Hanukkah.
holidays.
I like Hanukkah especially.
Yeah,
Because
I mean it's that's more corporate marketing, right? Like it was never traditionally the type of holiday that it is in the U.S. Like it especially isn't in Israel. It's just that to keep up with Christmas, right? So that would be.
I'm aware of that. I still like it though.
I mean, I wouldn't forward. Oh, like I keep Hanukkah. That's what makes me a serious Jew. Like I would go with Yom Kippur.
Are you talking about my set? Are you talking about my set? Is that it? Because the fucking Hanukkah bush. No, okay, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, that's fine.
No, I don't follow you at all.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good. I'm proud of you.
I mean, not really a reason to be proud of me for that one. I have other reasons, but not that one.
Okay.
Also, the weird mixing of Hebrew and like Yiddish slang.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of the use of Yiddish slang is also a weird one when you didn't grow up in an Ashkenazi household, right?
Okay.
Like my grandparents would speak a bit of Yiddish, right? So that's why I use Yiddish slang. But that's more of an ethnic language rather than a religious language, right? Like so, if you go to Israel, which I've been a few times now, it's like you won't find, for example, Sephardic or Ethiopian Jews ever speaking Yiddish just because it's
here's the deal. Because my mom has one in the 90s. I do recall my mom walking around the house crutching about this, that, and the other thing in Yiddish slang. And I didn't think anything of it.
You got to pronounce the slang correctly.
Oh my God, he's gatekeeping Judaism.
I'm trying to help you. I'm not gatekeeping anything.
Well, maybe it's my mid-hog. Maybe it's my fucking mid-hog. How do you know? It's inconsequential.
Man, just in front of the goyim, like you gotta come off as more convincing and less of an anti-Semitic cartoon. Like it's
Okay.
a little cringe.
Well,
It's a
I
little wee bit cringe.
thank you for your criticism. I'll take that into the account the next time I'm in public. I really value your input as a member of the tribe. I wouldn't.
I mean, that's it's a good choice on your part. I don't have to call in any of my favors with some of the finance and judges I know.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say fucking Mossad. That's usually what I get.
I wouldn't. I don't need to go Mossad. I could just get you debanked. Get you on that Fuentes treatment. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of like what you're doing right now. This is kind of my fucking alley.
Yeah, I'm a funny motherfucker, dude.
You can be. I mean, in the past, you come off as kind of a twat, but I feel like we've all matured a little bit from 5 years ago. So,
I mean, to be fair, I still think you're a twat, but
that's
I
fine.
just don't think
So
it's
does
very
fucking
deep.
Cat. But
I'm past the point of like, you and J-Dubs like kind of like the thing that's only minorly annoying.
Oh,
like,
we don't
we're being
fucking
semi-serious is like
yeah,
you and J-Dubs kind of like adopting a cultural, like when you overplay sort of the Jewish intonations, try to use Yiddish and Hebrew slang poorly. Like it's kind of like, yeah, dude, like that's not a religious thing, right? Like that's a East Coast Ashkenazi Jewish thing. So it's kind of weird, right? It's kind of like how black people get annoyed with wiggers,
I got you. No, I understand.
And I do legitimately like if we're being legit, that is like kind of offensive.
Okay,
right?
so
because like you get to choose whether you're Jewish, I don't, right? When it comes to anti-Semitism, so that's kind of the difference there.
What do you mean? Well, this is where the analogy breaks down. John, in this analogy, is a legit wigger, but he has credentials from like the Crips. It's basically.
I don't think he has really any credentials. He just
no. He does.
He
does have his conversion papers. I have seen them. He published them at one point.
But
you can believe it or not.
It's more of an like. I don't think it's a like. People aren't checking if you've been to temple. Like I don't know if you've been on the receiving end of anti-Semitism in your life. I have.
Once.
People don't check the last time I went to temple. Right? They just sort of look at my face and then. If they know, my first and last name, they're like, oh, like you're Jewish, and then they be pieces of shit. Even though I only go to temple on like family occasions and shit like that. Like it's a very, very rare thing.
Right.
Right. So that's where I take issue. Like no one asks me to produce conversion papers when they're being anti-Semitic, right? They're just looking at what I look like.
Well, I say people don't like, so that's why they ask for it. Because you can't be self-deprecating about. Because it's not like we didn't know, It's like, oh, there's a vaguely Jewish last name in here, right? Who changed their name between 1935 and 1940 3 fucking times. Oh, I wonder what that's about. Also, why is there Manischewitz at the Grand High? What?
What was the vaguely Jewish last name? Because I know that my last name is very Jewish, and it was actually anglicized from something.
It's. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, to be honest with you. It's Ben Scoten or Ben Scotine, or I have no fucking idea.
I mean, that just sounds generic Eastern European. It doesn't really sound specifically Jewish.
That's why I said vaguely. But there was other hints. So, but that's the thing. It's not like we didn't know that we had some type of foreign.
But do you understand, like, kind of the distinction where, if you look at my last name or my mom's maiden name, or the fact that like we can trace back on my dad's side to Orthodox rabbis, like there's like it's sort of like you're Jew-ish, like I'm actually Jewish, right? From an ethnic point. If you want to be religious, I have no problem with that. There's just no need to use the Yiddish slang or put on the Jewish affect, right? It's like kind of a little bit cringe, right?
All right, so I'm also Dutch, less Dutch than I am, as you would say, Jewish, right? I don't think that you would have a problem if I just started fucking doing. I have no idea what the Dutch do, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like if there was something that I knew
wooden
was like,
shoes and windmills. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? I feel like people would have way less of a problem if I,
One at a time.
If you did the, well, like, so part of that is, right, like, you don't know the cultural signifiers to the Dutch, right? But I'm sure,
no fucking idea.
There are, but I'm sure that if there was something that was comparably offensive, I'm pretty sure I would feel not exactly the same, right? Because it's not a slight at my cultural identity, but like I would be like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up if you're artificially adopting a culture, right?
Like, what percentage of something do you have to be before it becomes like what are you saying? I had to grow up in the Netherlands or something in order to, or like
you would have to be grown up in that. It's not a percentage thing, right? Because I have friends who are, by ethnicity half Jewish, but they grew up, culturally Jewish,
right?
Right, like their mom converted or their dad converted, something like that, right? But they grew up in a household where it was, ostensibly like, I don't know any Sephardic Jews from where I grew up, but like ostensibly Ashkenazi Jewish culture, right? If you don't grow up in there's a difference between like something being like a cultural marker versus like an ethnic marker, right? Like I personally think, to give an example, I think it's kind of cringe, and I think you would agree, when Black people in the US like adopt an excessively African frame to how they present themselves, because you're like, dude, you've never been to Africa, right? Like,
well, there you go. That's the thing, is that no, I'm not really a super Jew. I've never really pretended like I am. I just became fascinated with the faith and fascinated with the culture, and I share some genetic markers, right? And I was like, yeah, I think this kind of fits how I feel, but I don't jive 100%. Like, I'm sure you don't jive 100% with the things you belong to. Like, I'm more than half Irish, right? Which is what I was busting balls about. But you don't see me over here fucking, I don't know, beating my wife or whatever the fuck Irish people still. I think you know what I mean? And I'm sure he doesn't either. Even though we kind of grew up in homes where that was a thing, and alcoholism is a thing, and there's reasons for that. Like the fact that instead of boiling
if I
water,
had to raise you, I'd be an alcoholic too. I don't blame your mother. Like,
right, like in the 1200s, they, instead of boiling water to purify it, they just turned it into alcohol, and they started feeding it to their kids when they were like 3. And they just did that since time immemorial. And then it,
But I would say, like, for example, I can give a good example, right? Like there's a large portion of my family that is from Poland, and a large portion of them that that lineage does not continue because of some events. But anyhow, it would be very disrespectful of me to like culturally identify with Polish, because that was just like that's just not a culture that was ever a part of how I was raised. It's not a culture that my family ever really participated in, right? They just participated in, Ashkenazi Jew in, Eastern European Ashkenazi Jew culturally, right? So that's the example. That's actually a really good example, right? So I'm sure if I got a DNA test, which I've never gotten, there would be some trace of Polish, right? Because like almost no one is 100%. I might be, because we can trace it back really far, but unlikely, right? Statistically unlikely. But like, I wouldn't dream to like randomly adopt cultural, like Polish, like practices. That would just be really random and arbitrary.
Right.
That would be kind of the analogy that I would make. Like, yeah, like you might have Eastern European Jewish blood, but like you weren't raised around people who were Yiddish speakers, for instance.
Okay, so then I have another question.
Is that a fair point? Is that a fair point?
No, it is a fair point. I'm just wondering how many generations of people have to culturally identify and conform that have the genetics and all the other fucking shit. How many like for example, let's say I'm walking
would
around
just
the house
say if you were meant,
entirely
like,
in Hebrew.
Again, one at a time.
But it doesn't have to be. Well, no, you're asking the question wrong. That's why I'm interrupting. Like, I've never said it has to be a number of generations, but like, you're at generation 0 in terms of being raised that way, right? Like, we both agree with this.
It's like there's some Jewy things that my mom did, but I didn't know they were fucking Jewy until I became an adult. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm not going to like the answer, but what are those things?
Well, it's superficial things like random Jewish slang and
Jewish slang or Yiddish slang, because those are different things.
Well, Yiddish. Well, I'm being colloquial here because it's really not that much, and I'm not gonna fucking lie to you and be like, yeah, no, my mom was walking around the house hucking a chinik, and it wasn't quite
Just
like
that. Stop butchering Yiddish. Like, this is like when I got on your ass for like you pretending that the ethnic slur for black people was just a normal Yiddish word, right? Like I know like, come on, Will, like, you're,
oh god,
the goyim you're gonna fool me, you're not.
It was funny when I made praise do it.
But like, yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, right? Is like, just because someone occasionally uses a Yiddish word occasionally, it's
I'm
not
allowed
like
to, I'm allowed to pull the Jew card for antics. I mean, fucking, that's the reason that fucking praise.
So you're like the dentist so you're the dentist from Seinfeld, essentially. You became Jewish so you could make the jokes rather than care.
No, but that has a massive boon. I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking funny. The reason that he started saying shalom and then deliberately fucking tried to start learning shitty Greek is because of that whole fucking debacle. And it's going on 5 years of this shit. That's fucking hilarious.
What kind of temple do you go to?
Bethel. It's a Chabad show.
No, but like, is it Reform, Conservative, Orthodox?
No, it's Orthodox. They're not a fan of me. That's obvious.
I was gonna say you're not very becoming of an Orthodox man. Will.
No, but there's not a whole lot they can do without making themselves look like hypocrites because I've got everything that they fucking asked me for.
I mean, fair enough, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if it was,
I think for your own sake. I mean, I think if you're actually serious about the faith, you should act serious about the faith. Like, I think it's kind of silly to get, to convert and then just not really embody a lot of those virtues, right? Like that to me seems silly.
Well,
right?
I wouldn't.
Do you use electronics on Saturday, right?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. That's what I was gonna tell you guys. There's pretty much, it's upstate New York. Pretty much all there is Chabad shuls. It's not. There's no.
Like, if I knew what town you were in, I'm not going to be able to Google Reform temples near there.
No. Well, not unless 50 miles. But that's. Have you seen the fucking price of gas? And then
listen, man, it's your faith, not mine, right? Like, you're also in upstate New York, so that's not a lot of driving.
Wait, what?
It's also upstate New York, right? Everything is spread out. So
no, yeah, everything is spread out, but you're right. I will sit in a car for an hour for something that I want to do. You're absolutely right about that. But the problem is that gas is really expensive. It's not like I haven't been to a Reform.
I really want to make a cheap Jew. Like,
you can't
just because you're Jewish, you don't get to be. Just because you converted to Judaism doesn't mean you get to be cheap. Will.
Well.
Come on, you left it on the table. You can't just take our Yiddish and not take our fucking insults.
No, that's fine. We went to 3 different mechanics yesterday trying to get a good price on a fucking brake job. I don't go to big mechanics because you can fucking Yeah, I'm not kidding you. I'm not fucking kidding. You can ask fucking Kat. I was talking to her about it yesterday. She's like, she's waiting for some stuff that I had to get from somebody else, that her possessions, because she moved and they fucked off with her things and bug stuff and everything. And then she's like, "Well, what's the holdup?" And I was like, "Well, I was at your place for 15 minutes. You guys didn't wake up, so I left because I had things to do, and those were the things I had to do. And we have to
You
fuck
didn't
around."
call and make an appointment?
Oh no, that's not how I handle it. I like to haggle. Love haggling. And we don't go to big mechanics, like we don't go to a Michelin or like a Garvey. I don't know if you guys have those elsewhere, but we don't go to a dealership. I go to
Why
guys
not?
who are looking, because I can haggle the price down like a lot.
Yeah, see, that's unfortunate. Well, it's unfortunate.
Why? Why? You like paying more money than you have to for things you need?
I like, my time is valuable, so the amount of money that I would be spending just in not working during, trying to
My
shop
time and
around
money are the
mechanics
same
would
fucking
not be
thing to
worth
me.
it. Yeah, like for me, it's just not even worth the time. Also, by going to the dealership, I get the bonus of it being that every repair, well, almost every repair that I've had on my car is logged within their system. So that has its own inherent benefit, because then they have all the diagnostics information they could possibly want.
Well, fine, but I like to pay less for things.
No, I like to pay less where it's relevant. If it was something like when I got my brakes and rotors replaced, I went outside the dealership, because anyone can do that shit, and it's a ripoff at the dealership.
Look, you're fucking agreeing with me now. You were just breaking my balls. And
yeah, but that was, I went to one local place after Googling, and I was like, hey, get this done, right? Like, it was, I would not spend the time driving around. But if it's something, it also depends on the repair, right? So if it's something like my rear view camera went out recently, I just went to the dealership, because like that shit has to be up to factory spec, and the software has to be.
Hate going to the dealership. My wife has a Volkswagen, right? And there's like,
very Jewish that fucking.
Yeah,
car,
I know.
huh?
I'm not happy about it. I don't like it. It's not
fucking Nazi car.
Yeah, I know. My wife's a fucking atheist. She's like fucking nigh on 100% goddamn Irish, because she's like, oh, well, you got a DNA test. I'm going to take one. And it turns out she's just fucking Irish, a little bit of Scottish, and some other fucking junk. She's whiter than the surface of the moon. It's nothing. Nothing big. Not
You're
even
really struggling with your fucking analogies, bro. The surface of the moon is gray.
Okay,
whiter than the driven snow, like.
Sure, driven snow. Well, in upstate New York, it's more of a brown color 90% of the time. Let's argue semantics about the color of shit. That's fun.
It's very Jewish to argue for sport. I thought you would know that.
I do also admit to openly arguing for no reason.
See, Will, this is what I don't appreciate, is you don't know the actual Jewish stereotypes. You just know what you've seen on Seinfeld. Like, it's very, very
I
apparent.
fucking hate Seinfeld, though, so I don't appreciate that analogy. I have better taste.
I mean, Seinfeld was obviously a stand-in for what you've seen on TV and in pop culture. Like,
we're not being semantic now? Okay, I didn't realize you changed the rules mid-game. Hold on, let me get my glove. Jesus Christ, dude.
So was it Raging Atheist who you were going to box?
Yeah, and I think at this point it should be pretty obvious why that was never going to happen.
I'm still pissed about that, Will.
I know,
yeah,
everyone's fucking...
You guys are also just both pussies. Like, that's also the other part there.
Oh, no, it's because Knox a full-on fucking cripple, and I didn't trust him not to call the fucking cops.
I mean, Will, let's be real. Like, if I would, like, I don't live that far from upstate New York. If I was like, Will, you want to have an MMA fight? You would pussy out of it, right? And I wouldn't blame you, but I think it's just silly. Also, anyone who's going to posture on the internet about how tough they are, like, I think it's just kind of fucking silly, because, like, let's just face it, like, anyone who actually has
sure
any combative...
I don't know.
Yeah,
no.
People who actually have combative abilities, they aren't charging people They aren't, you know.
Like there's a reason that it was not, and not fucking. I don't know. I don't fucking. Is there anyone around here that I know that could probably beat my ass? I don't know. My brother's taller than me, so probably him.
Yeah, but it's not like for internet clout, right? Like, I just think it's cringy, right? Like it's silly. It's like the same as when, I don't know if you were around when true empiricism was trying to fight drag, right? Like
Oh, I'm aware of all that shit. Yeah, it was reminiscent of all that. No, I'm aware.
It's fucking cringe
Well,
because anyone
wanted to fight Andy.
like I actually train, you know, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? Like,
It's like here's the thing.
It's not that deep, right? If you wanted to train with me, I'd pay, you know, for you to train. I'd be happy to show you pointers on how to actually fight. But like, it's just not that. It's just not that deep, right?
So
like,
I appreciate your opinion.
It would just be like I've trained with Drag, trained with Xavier, like that. It was just fun. Like it was not. It doesn't have to be a combative thing. I feel like it's super cringe when someone like you is like, well, let's have a boxing match, and it's like, bitch, like this is just sad.
Yeah,
this is like clout fights without clout.
I was thinking of the Tonka Saw fucking. What the fuck is the other guy? Why can't I remember his fucking name?
Yeah, Andy Worski.
Andy Worski. Yeah, I was thinking about that when I fucking was spitballing and came up with the fucking thing. I'm aware of how it looks. It's generally when I do things, it's on purpose, right? And I did it because it was funny at the time, and that is the name of my memoir that I'm currently writing. I told Knock that that's literally generally why I do things, because it was funny at the time.
I mean, I guess it's funny to laugh at. Like, to laugh at you, people are laughing at you. I personally would prefer to be like, I would rather have people laughing with me in life. It's a little less.
Well, at the time, people were laughing with me. You know what I mean? Because everything on YouTube is fucking ephemeral. It's fucking, you know, it happens and then it disappears into fucking obscure lore. It's not that deep.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's no, I mean, like, obviously, right? This is an obscure corner of the internet. You're not someone who, in any sense, is notable. You know,
right.
Ipso facto, it's, you know, it's sort of like people like over remembering what, you know, I do on the Geek Room, or on a much smaller scale what Midnight does with these funny streams, especially as karaoke keep doing that midnight. Like, it's not. It's just, I would wonder, right? Like, if
all of this is entertainment like for a very specific niche of people who frequent this area.
But like
this area of the internet, yeah.
But like, here's the thing: is like when I do the Geek Room, it's really just us filming, me and my friends chilling and laughing at lolcows, right? Like, that's essentially what it is. I make a small amount of money, like almost covers my internet bill, but not really anything that like I care about the money. Like, that's more of a.
So like, wait, your friends have to pay you to be on their show? That's
huh?
Your friends have to pay you to be on their show?
Well, no, we all just split the money. Like, I would do it for free. I've said this before. I would do it for free. Like, it's just nice. Like, Frank offered. I was like, yeah, sure. Like, and he was like, oh, do you want more? I was like, no, dude. Like, it's not that important. Like, I don't need the money, so it doesn't make a difference to me. But like, I can kind of see, right? Like, the thing that I don't understand, and maybe you can enlighten me, Will, is why would you be vying for the attention? Sorry, I burped a little bit. Vying for the attention online, you know, here, just for the sake of the attention, right? Like, for me, I don't really give a shit about the attention. It's something I would be doing anyway. And then it's nice that I get to make money on top of it. But like, quite honestly, like, for the majority of people online, I don't want their attention.
Why? I don't know. That's a good question. I guess I never really thought about it really that much. I've been hanging out in a similar corner of the internet for as long as I can remember. I think I was like 12 or 13 when I started uploading videos to the internet. Originally, I was uploading them to like Photo Bucket when they just released their fucking video hosting service where you could just put a video.
Photo Bucket.
And then I was posting them to forums like Gaia Online and cringe weeb shit like that. And fucking MySpace and all that fucking gobbledygook. And then YouTube started to, like, I think it was like late October of 06 when someone was like, why are you posting the photo bucket? You can post your videos to YouTube. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is that? And then I started
But
doing
like,
YouTube.
why?
And then
Have you ever introspected why you like? Because there was a point at which I kind of liked the attention, and then I was like, this is fucking cringe and it's lame. Like, have you done that introspection at all?
well, yeah, there was fucking the past year. I haven't really uploaded anything serious. I don't think. Like, not actually, like the Gorm animation was a thing that other people said they wanted to see, and then a year later I did it. It wasn't something that I was like. And the other thing is, I'm not paying Brett or other fucking voice actors to do this shit because that's a waste of my time, and frankly, it's a waste of Smokey's money. But I fucking 11 Labs came out, so I just cloned their voice and threw them up there, and it was fucking great. And Brett thought it was funny, and I thought it was funny, and the Cone Club cult people thought it was funny. So mission accomplished.
So,
But-
like, why? So I have two questions. Like, first, that doesn't really answer what I was saying, right? Like, why do you, like, other than the lulls, right? Like, which you could just do personally, right? There's plenty of personal lulls that I have between even just IRL friends, right?
Right.
Why would there be, my question would be is, why put it out in public to get such a limited amount of attention?
Well, I don't know. It seems to have worked out really well for me, to be honest with you, because internet people that I met over here became real life people, and I think soon I'm going to be related to some of them by marriage. So, like, it started out as like a thing where it's like, oh, I put this on the internet, and then if somebody likes it, great. And then other people are like, hey, can I come on your stream? And then it's like, hey, can I second chair this shit? And now, you know, it's a whole fucking, like, I met these people in real life. They moved to my fucking town, at least 3 or 4 of them. I don't know. I'm not really counting anymore. But you know what I mean? Where it's like, it became way more weird than just the normal internet shit. When people start moving to the place that you fucking live, from Wisconsin and Frog Balls, California, and fucking New York City and all this shit, it becomes...
It's kind of weird.
It is weird, but it's far more interesting than the traditional sort of,
I mean,
you know,
like, it's kind of weird that you would go to the internet to farm IRL friends. That's
well, I always had IRL friends. I always had IRL friends. I just ended up making more on the internet.
I mean, I'm just going to be reasonably frank here. Like, you know, I don't think someone who has a rich IRL life is looking at Brett Keane and like, that's a guy that I need in my life.
Well, I've had a bunch of my friends in the fucking, like, last week's fucking stream that I did. We went over some of my IRL friends that have been in there. There's like, I think I've had 12 of my IRL friends in there. So Shiva, Ray Mid, JT, JP, Sean.
What do they think of Brett Keane and his like history of known?
Well, that's part of the
scamming and
thing
lying?
that's fun for me. That's part of the thing that's fun for me is introducing them to these fucking weirdos. Normal people that in their real life just sort of scroll TikTok or whatever and don't pay attention to the news and don't care about anything that like really that I care about in terms of like my deep personal interests. Introducing them to that kind of shit is part of the draw. What do they think? There's literally, like I said, there's a bunch of fucking streams you can see them, but the general consensus is that this dude's a weirdo who clearly does not have a life.
You or Brett Keane?
Brett Keane, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for asking for clarification for the audience. They might think that I'm some kind of fucking...
Yeah, no, it was for the audience and not,
You're right.
not for me.
Yeah, right.
It was for the audience and not for me.
Absolutely. Thank you for clearing that up. I appreciate it. That's on the record now.
Listen, I try to help you on all of these. You know, I'm out here for you, Will.
You know what? Baruch Hashem.
You're such a fuck, dude.
I know.
You're such a cunt.
Well, 420 Atheist went in hating me, and now he likes me, and he asked me to do another Gorm video. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. like there's definitely a niche audience, but like I started YouTube just doing whatever I wanted to do, and then somebody like Ryby Jenkins would come around and fuck with my shit, and then I would just
Drop it. I tried to tell my dog she's
Oh.
wanting to tug on a toy with me.
I thought you were trying to end the discussion or something. I don't know why.
No. Well, so back to I'm adding a payment method on Amazon right now. But
It's a very Jewish thing.
once
to do,
I get done with that, yeah, exactly, and it's tax free. You know, another Jewish thing, Will, that you should embrace is getting a good job. That is a good.
What do you mean? I'm a fucking nurse. I work for the fucking state. I don't know how much more.
I don't know. Jewish nurse is not a stereotype. Jewish doctor,
No, it's
on
not.
the other hand.
Yeah, I know. I never.
Like nurse is not a nurse. Is a like, dude. That is.
My mother is disappointed in me. Is that Jewy?
Hey, Will, become a programmer. You got the background.
No. That's what I started going to college for, and I fucking hated it. I fucking hated it. I can't fucking sit at a goddamn desk. This is why I got into healthcare. You know. I'm fucking
allegedly.
pudgy now. Imagine how pudgy I would be if I was some, albino Italian fucking welfare programmer.
It's cute that you think Midnight's a programmer. That's adorable, Will.
Just because I don't get paid for it doesn't mean I'm not, Sam. But that's besides the point.
You missed the welfare part of
let's
that.
just be very real about it. For the amount of time you put in, right?
Says you. Anyways, keep talking.
No, it says reality.
Okay, well, reality is what I make it to be. Just keep talking. That was a joke.
I was clearly just breaking his balls, but okay.
No, he gets very cagey.
I did mention welfare. I don't know what you like. I think you missed that.
He doesn't.
No, I didn't miss it.
He doesn't like that.
No, I know you didn't miss it because you were listening for it, kind of, right? But he didn't. He's like, it's cute. You think that he's a programmer, and I was making fun of the fact that he is.
The welfare thing is funnier.
Right.
But it's played out though, right? Like it's kind of low hanging fruit.
Well, I'm glad you realized that.
I mean,
I'm gonna do it anyway.
I mean, I think that the programmer thing is funnier. Just because like, Midnight has been quote unquote trying to be a programmer for a while, but the amount of effort
now I'm
put
curious.
in is lower.
Now I'm curious. What is it do you think that I do when I'm not in front of a phone or computer or whatever? You know what I mean?
I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I'm only judging on your online content.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Well,
you
I
can't
was
really do
really
that.
curious what other people think it is that I'm doing the rest of my day.
No, yeah, no offense in this, but yeah, I don't I don't devote that much thought to you. This was the first time when you had come up
right
in my head.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's reassuring or not reassuring.
It's, you know what? I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. Fair. Good man.
I don't fucking care really that much, but it is a curiosity. Because at one time there was a theory that I was living at John's place and I moved my wife in, and then Kat was pregnant somehow, and so I've heard things that people have said that they think like are real. So I was just curious because I don't think I've ever heard.
Yeah,
you say
I have. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't like. I very rarely pay attention to you or John. You're just less interesting than Brett or Vaughn. Like you're kind of attached cows.
Oh, okay. Good
right?
to know.
Like so I was asking, like, so when it comes to your whole relationship, let's call it, with Brett Keane, like in your head, how do you like to square that circle? I'm very curious.
What circle am I squaring precisely?
Like
We're gonna-
that like Brett, like it's obvious that like Brett's kind of a piece of shit, right?
Right. Okay.
Like it's fairly obvious, right? This is a guy that has lied about plagiarism, has lied about harassing people.
It's all out there. Yeah. It's not like
yeah. Like I personally find that generally to be like distasteful behavior, let's call it.
Right.
Like in your head, like how does that kind of, let's say, square up? Like what is the thing that you tell yourself? Because like I don't personally like I don't personally care.
So I take it that you're under the impression that we are friends.
You and Brett?
Yeah.
Possibly.
No. Everything now. I mean, maybe when I was like younger, back when he was when he had his own little Brett Keane website or whatever, like maybe then I would have said that because my 13 through 14-year-old self or 12 or whatever the fuck it was would be like, oh man, Brett's so fucking cool, man. I might have said that then. But now, as a 30-year-old man with a wife and a fucking kid and working fucking 60 hours because there's no fucking nurses left anymore, I don't have time to be Brett's friend. And I'll tell you what, you can ask Knock if you don't fucking believe me what it's like to try to be friends with Brett. It's work.
I don't talk to Knock because like obviously he's a fucking useless leech. I am actually pleasantly surprised that you, despite you being strong in the troll game, that you can recognize that. Will, you do have a little bit of a soul.
I don't fucking listen. I don't sit on the fucking internet and brood about the next thing. That's the other thing I don't fucking do. I used to do that. I don't fucking do that anymore because I have too many other things that are way more important than whatever the fuck this is. Right? But when I'm fucking not doing anything in my spare time, I'll work on something. But I don't spend hours setting up because it used to be like, so when Kat and Lo moved here from California and Wisconsin, and they were
where in California and where in Wisconsin?
Fresno and
oh yeah, Fresno's a shithole. You did them a favor.
Fucking what part of it's she said before, and I can't remember because it's got a fakakta name. It's not Chattanooga or anything like that, but it sounds like that.
Dude, you sound so uncomfortable when you try to throw Yiddish in conversation.
I'm uncomfortable all the time.
That's fair. That's actually a Jewish trait.
Okay.
Right, Midnight, you got a little bit of Jewish trait in you too.
I also have crippling diarrhea.
I don't know. How the hell do I have?
You're uncomfortable at all times. Very Jewish of you.
Okay, sure, I guess.
I don't know why he's spending so much money on blackout curtains. I don't know what he's doing to them that's causing that, but yeah, there's occasional beam of sunlight.
I don't have
Midnight.
I don't have You have blackout curtains, Midnight?
No.
Yeah, you do. Oh my god, I'm making an albino joke and nobody's rolling with it. Fine, whatever. It is what it is.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have blackout.
Yeah, thank you. You fucking
out of color, sir.
Well, at least I didn't tell him to go get a fucking tan, for God's sake.
Yeah, Knox still doesn't understand that. Knox still.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, honestly, you look at Knock and it's like, well, this is an alcoholic who nominally cares about atheism, but really just wants social interaction.
I mean, there are days that I have off that I play video games. I don't stream them for 10 fucking hours. So I very rarely stream video games.
Low bars, Will. Low bars, but I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I'm trying right now. My goal in life is to have a 720 credit score. That's all I want.
Dude, that's not very Jewish. You're not there already. That's super
No,
un-Jewish,
I
bro.
know. I was legitimately depressed
You
about
gotta
that. I look at my.
you gotta join me in the fucking 800 club, dog.
I would love to. I would gladly take tips. I'm literally like, I'm not kidding. It's not a fucking big.
Well, what's your credit score at right now?
Not good. 580.
Oh, dude, you got a lot of fucking work. How much debt do you have?
$30 right now, I think.
You okay? How do you have a 580 and
Well, that was the question
almost
I
no
had.
debt?
That's the question. Well, I had debt and then I paid it off.
But that should
Like,
give you a decent. How many credit lines do you have?
Let's see. I know I have the 3 cards, and then I have that personal one that I pay on. So I guess that's like 4.
Well, personal loan is
But
not
I'm
going to
paying.
count
I'm
towards a
paying.
public credit.
I'm paying 8.5% interest on most of the shit, if not higher.
Wait, have you paid interest on a credit card payment?
Aren't you supposed to? Isn't that how you build credit?
No,
Isn't
you
this
pay
just
before the
watching?
balance. You pay before the balance goes off. Like, I've never paid interest on a credit card payment because I pay everything on time.
I was told that's what you said. I don't fucking understand. I'm not an economics major.
But you're trying to fucking wait. So you can use Yiddish slang, but you can't balance a checkbook. You're a shitty Jew. Well,
I don't I mean, I pay my bills, but I don't pay like the whole balance all at once. I was
but
told
you
that
meet
was
the minimum so that, well, first off, you should pay the whole balance when you can because that limits your credit utilization. Do you know what credit utilization is?
No, I don't fucking know. So I'm looking for tips. What I'm trying to tell you is I take out a loan.
So what is your credit, like, aggregate credit limits?
Okay, all together, like
Yes.
my available credit.
Yes.
It's around $6.5 grand, I would guess.
Do you have more than 600 in balances on your cards?
No.
Okay, then you need to keep credit utilization below 10%, pay on time, and that's how you build credit.
Well, I didn't say it was. See, this is what I'm trying to clear up: is that you go to take out a loan, they want to make money. They don't want you to just give it back, right? So the difference between the amount that I requested and the amount that I have to pay back is 8.5% of that total. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm paying 8.5%.
Okay, so let's say that. So what is not the debt, the balance on the card? Like if I pull up my Bank of America, like if I go to the Bank of America app on my phone, which I'm doing right now.
Okay, so like if the balance, the total potential credit that available, right, on any given card is between $1,000 and $3,000. I don't have a card for 10 grand.
So like for instance, if we look at my Bank of America travel rewards, my current balance is around $700. That's what it says, but my credit limit is $27,000. So it's under 10%. That's very positively reflecting on my score. So like,
I don't have a card like that.
What is the current balance on the card?
Which, like I said, I've got 3 cards and 1 loan.
Okay, so like let's take your highest limit card. What's the balance on that? You can give rounded numbers.
I don't know anything on that one. I don't know anything on that one. I've got a limit of $3 grand.
Okay, but like, what's the balance? Like, how much money have you already spent of that $3 grand limit?
I mean, over the years that I've had it, I have no fucking idea. But the current
state.
Right now, if I wanted to go buy something for $3,000 with that card, I could go buy it. Does that answer your question?
No, like, do you only use it for purchases that you directly pay? Like, how are you using that card? Do you just let it languish?
Look, if I was going to go buy a fucking new, I don't know, mattress or something for $3,000, I would go buy the fucking mattress with the credit card, and then I would pay it off on time, and then that's it. I don't know what else.
So you don't use it. You don't use your credit cards regularly, is what you're telling me.
Not really. No, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's
Except
also
for
a problem.
I have one
You
credit
need
card
to,
that I use for bills, like some bills. Like
yeah,
my fucking
you should be using your credit card to pay as much as you can with it, but keeping it under 10% of that limit and
okay.
keeping your credit statement at the end of the month under 10%. And that helps your score significantly.
My parents
Having a
fucking
record of
bankrupted. Well, here's the context for why I don't do that. It's because I'm terrified of fucking credit cards. My life when I was a kid was fucked up horribly by people who didn't know how to use fucking credit cards. And I don't have anybody in my life that can be like, hey, you know, my stepfather for sure, but we don't get along very well. But like for most of my life I've not had anybody where I be like, hey, how do I build credit?
I mean,
Ask my mom or dad.
there's also online articles and services, right?
Yeah, I did look into that, and it seems like I was getting a lot of contradictory information.
Well,
And currently, that's what I'm doing.
Will,
The thing is
I
that
gotta
that's
get
what I'm.
going, but that's fucking cap, bro. Like that's
No,
nonsense. Most of what
what do you
I'm
think I'm
saying
doing
here,
now?
most of what these things say is they say between 3 to 5 lines of consistent credit, having a robust credit history of regular use of that credit, and keeping credit utilization between under 30%, but ideally under 10%. Like that's pretty
Right, I spend
boilerplate.
money and I pay it off in a month. I don't know what the fuck. I don't like debt. I don't know. Should I like debt if I want better credit?
It's not debt if you have like. Do you understand that like $700 on my balance is not debt?
Well, fucking isn't it? Isn't that the whole
No,
point of a credit card? You owe the fucking credit company the money
it
that
only
you
becomes
borrowed.
debt if I don't pay off the minimum.
I don't
It's
know.
just
I
utilized
see that
credit.
all as debt. Maybe that's some kind of cognitive fucking issue that I have, but that all looks
Yeah,
like that to me.
it's called being stupid. But
Oh,
I got to get going and not knowing what you're talking about. But I would recommend looking at NerdWallet's report on how to build credit. It's a good starting point.
all
Or
right.
be a good Jew and hire a financial advisor like I did.
Okay. Later.
Well, that was fun.
Still never answered any of my fucking questions to my satisfaction, but you know what? I guess that's good enough.
Well, this stream never became what it was supposed to, but whatever.
Well, what is it?
Well, I was gonna talk about tribalism and how and how some people were like, well, well, if you hang out with that one person, you can't hang out with us because that one person is bad for the tribe, and
I think
therefore
we
it
did
makes you
that
bad.
though. I think we did that though, just not with what you were talking about.
Well, yeah, in a way, you kind of did.
I didn't grow up Jewish correctly, and so people could gatekeep what that is.
Yeah,
And
well, Sam has a habit of doing that.
it's fine. He's out there living his fucking life, inconsequential, right? We
Oh,
all just
it's cute that you think Midnight's a programmer. Like, okay, just because I don't have a job doesn't mean that I'm a fucking programmer. I've made a lot of projects over the years that
you went
never
to
really
fucking
went.
college, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never graduated from it, but I took
Oh,
college classes.
oh. Well, I did. That's how I decided I didn't want to do that, and then later in life I became a nurse. I did what I had to do to pay my fucking student debt off, and then I was done with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I get why people go to college, right? That's because they need to go there to get certification or a degree to get past human resources to actually get a job. But
I'm never going to meet. I'm never going to meet Sam in real life. I know that for a fact. If Cat, see, this is the thing. If Cat had a problem, I might be like, okay, it's time to look at my life choices. You know what I mean? But I don't take. I mean, I will look into the nerd wallet thing because I would like to have a decent fucking credit score here. You know what I mean? Especially since we're looking at having a second kid here, like we're buying a new car. You know,
Jesus Christ, Will.
like
Wait
oh
until
no,
wait until wait until the first one goes to college before you have another one.
I don't know if we're doing all that midnight. Not because we can't afford it. Because see, that's the other thing too is that we do have liquid assets, but we're not finna use all that to go. That all that stuff is for later. It's like for retirement and when I'm dead, my son's inheritance, and for potentially college. I also set aside that money is for whatever the fuck he wants to do when he graduates. If he wants to go to college or travel and see some shit, you know, we do travel a lot now, but we don't travel outside the country very much.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking hassle. I ain't fitting to get on a fucking plane for fucking 12 hours. All right. But, you know, continental United States, Hawaii, Jamaica, fucking anything in that North American sphere, Canada once and never
Blame
again.
Canada. Blame Canada.
But you know what? I don't care what he wants to do with his life. Once he gets his money, it's his fucking money. But it's there for him. It's not for me to fucking pay bills and shit. It's too much money to just fucking. No, I'm not doing it. That's not happening.
See, well, I honestly, he's probably gonna hear this and and get pissed off at me, but I honestly think your son has a better future than his daughter,
Whose daughter?
Knox.
Oh, I mean, okay, let's not.
Yeah, never mind. Forget I said that. Strike from the record.
Yeah, I mean, he's not exactly private about his situation.
No.
We did get together and say, okay, how much liquid cash does the group of the fucking 30 of us, like, what are we willing to give up, like, today? Right? And we were like, $6,000. I'm like, okay. And I said, Knock, I know you're not going to take this money because I know you better than you know yourself, but would $6,000, would you take it? Would it help? And he told me he wouldn't take it on principle. So I'm like, okay.
Should I take it?
I know you would, but you get government assistance and I help you out sometimes too, so fuck off.
Well,
I make charitable contributions on paper, and then I make individual charitable contributions to people who are just fucked, right? At my discretion. I have discretionary spending in my budget.
Well, yeah.
In terms of contributions to people who are not inside of my family circle.
Yeah,
but
there's a reason why I don't always ask you, right? Just sometimes I'll be like, hey, you know what? Let me ask. But there's a reason why I don't ask you all the time.
Yeah. I mean, my family has money, but we didn't come from money. My mother became independently wealthy through good choices. But it was after we lost everything that she decided never again. And then when I left home, I was only allowed to take a handful of items, and then it was my turn to go do that whole fucking thing. And maybe that's fucked up, and by all accounts it probably is.
Well, your parents seem to be smarter than mine anyway.
They said, okay, I graduated, and they're like, okay, you can go now. And I just sort of did it myself. I didn't fucking, like, when my mom and my stepfather die, right? When my grandmother is fucking dead, when all of the generational wealth finally trickles down, my brother and I will one day be if we never spent any of it, we will one day be fucking millionaires. And not just one, but multiple. And then when fucking Smokey dies, I don't know what I'm going to fucking do. It's just going to be absolute, because he doesn't have any, it's all on paper. And he comes from fucking generational wealth from farms of all fucking things. But farms and property. Lots and lots of fucking property.
Mm.
And he's decided that I'm gonna get it. Then he trusts me to put it in the fucking thing for my kid and the whole shtickla. But
Wow.
but my job until then is to make as much fucking money as I possibly can without without what's the word? I don't want to do it at the expense of like spending time with my family. To the degree that I have to, I will. But there's certain things where it's like I ain't fucking living twice, right? I ain't gonna get my son's first words back. I'm happy that I was there for that. Or his first steps, or his first birthday. I'm not missing milestones for work. Cause I'll just be in my castle sad.
Well, okay, hold on.
Cause that's what my mother did.
Oh, go ahead.
She worked. She missed everything. I didn't really have a relationship with my mom until I was like 25.
Shit, I still don't.
Yeah. And I knew I didn't want to be broke because my dad is fucking broke. And that is his problem. That is his fault. He chose to be broke because it was easier than learning anything to try to fucking manage his finances or, pay child support. And, God bless him, for dodging that. I don't have any respect for authority either. So, I mean, God bless him for that. But also, it would have been nice when the housing market collapsed and we had to fucking move into an apartment. It would have been nice to, but whatever. It is what it is. And I just decided that I was going to not be fucking broke. And I was going to do whatever the fuck it took. And I spent a long time being broke. And now I have pretty much everything that I want except for the credit score. And the credit score is just so that I can make more money so I can fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, you ever see a homeless guy and just want to give him $1,000 and not care if he spends it on fucking crack?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to film it. I'm not one of these fucking TikTok assholes.
I mean, I'm technically homeless.
That's part of the situation. Or like Cat. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I can't, put Cat up in a fucking apartment. Like, she just doesn't have the stuff to begin with. And it's a whole fucking thing. And I did try to spend like an inordinate amount of money trying to help people fix their lives. And that was frustrating. But if I was obscenely wealthy, I could just do all of my trying in one shot. I could be like, okay, here's $10,000, and now you fix your life. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, having $10,000, I could just pay off the rent for a couple of years and be like, okay, I don't have to pay rent for a couple of years.
Like,
my rent is so goddamn cheap.
Like, I'm not an expert, but I could probably sit down with somebody and be like, okay, so here's like, he joked about fucking me not being able to balance a checkbook. I mean, I balance a fucking checkbook. I have no fucking idea anything about fucking credit.
By the way,
it's not been relevant it hasn't been relevant to my life. I've had credit cards for like 10 fucking years. I guess I've just been doing it wrong. I fundamentally underestimated how crucial credit is to literally everything I want to do. Yeah. So now I've taken an interest in it and I'm trying to get it fucking straightened out, but you know what I mean?
Okay, I want to comment. Mr. Lizard, what the fuck are you talking about? The gutter power gaslights people into thinking the other two are necessary. It makes people wish to exert power over others. The gutter money has everyone bring. Wow,
sue my parents for reparation. No, that's called inheritance. One day my mother will die and I'll get a fucking number in a check account. Right? I'm not looking forward to it.
If my mom dies while I'm on welfare, I still get the inheritance money, but it'll be under my sister's name in a special account.
Oh, you learned from that other wonderful trend that was in here that one time where they were like, "Yeah, I've been mailing razor blades to my ex."
What?
Do you remember that? It was you and Kat and some other fucking person. They're like, "Yeah, I bought a fursuit, but
I think
for
I
my
was
welfare
there when
stuff."
that person overshared. Are you talking about the person that overshared the first time we met them?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ! I haven't talked to that person in a while.
Yeah, it sounds like that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
I'm saving money for a fursuit. That's what I heard when you said that. Anyway,
yeah, I did. I do remember how Kat got pissed off at her with like why are you like you're on welfare and I can't get on welfare? Like, Kat has Kat has a right to be pissed off at people like me. Well, I guess, but I mean, she hasn't really got pissed off at me because I am on welfare. But I guess I don't really spend it on fursuits.
I went off on a tangent, but anyway, my kid's not going. We were talking about my kid in college and stuff. My kid's not going to public school. It's not fucking happening. It's just not.
Well, I don't blame you.
We already have.
Aside from the school shootings, public
Well,
school
yeah, there's
is.
that. But my wife and I had an awful, miserable time, elementary through fucking high school, right? I won't get into the details of that on her side.
I can already guess, but go ahead.
Yeah, on my end, just totally, just didn't learn anything useful. Wasn't interested in school. The thing is that I started excelling at a young age, and then just nobody fucking cared. Not my parents, not the fucking teachers, not the system. When I was in third grade, reading at a high school level, nobody went, "Oh, well, maybe we should make things a little more difficult because he's clearly fucking bored." They were like, "Well, let's just give him some medication for ADHD. We'll just give him legal speed, and we'll try 3 different medications. And he tries to fucking kill himself, then whatever."
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, well, that's all in the fucking video. Will Kincaid Crow and tells all. Been there for a while.
I think I watched that. Video.
So we're not doing that. That's not gonna happen. I won't pay. I'm not even like big on private school because clearly that doesn't fucking matter because some asshole with a fucking gun could just walk into a private fucking Christian school or whatever and just fucking shoot the place up. So
how many times has that happened though compared to public school? Aren't there more public schools?
Substantially less. But I will tell you, that's a real fucking pathological fear, right?
No, I understand that.
And it's a weird cognitive dissonance thing because I'm super fucking pro gun, and it's like, okay, if you're gonna not act like guns are a real fucking threat, right? And you still want us to have them, I'm not sending my kid to your fucking school. So we're looking at some options. For the most part, me and my fucking wife are more than qualified to teach our son up to a certain age. And he has a bunch of friends his own fucking age around here. So socialization is not going to be a fucking problem for him in terms of that. So he's not going to be stunted in that way either. It's just looking at when he gets older, there's some things that my wife and I are not qualified to fucking teach him. And so we're looking at tutors, and we've begun it was years ago. It's like 3 years ago now that we started thinking about having kids. We have a stipend for education, but our finances can only be split so many fucking ways. So we're trying to figure it out. But I'm not sending my kid no fucking public school. Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Random teachers that don't want to fucking be there and care or don't care to a greater or lesser extent about.
Don't forget the bullying, right? I don't know. Have you ever watched Static Shock?
Yes, I know the episode you're talking about.
God, that episode still gets me.
By the way, that was one of the best like superhero cartoons out there.
Yeah,
And I hear people complain all the time that there are no black superheroes, and I was like, fuck you. Fuck you. Static Shock used to listen to Dre. Eat a dick.
Right? Like I
I love
that
that show. I could relate to that show despite not being fucking black. It's like, it's not, no. Shut up. But anyway, yeah, bullying's a problem. Bullying is why my wife left school. My wife did not graduate. She got a GED, and she started working when she was 16. And she's just worked ever since. And so I don't want my kid to go through that with the drugs and the fucking eating disorder and the fucking suicide attempts and the fucking no. Even from a pragmatic standpoint, like if you're just looking at how much money you're gonna spend taking your kid to fucking therapy and the fucking rehab and everything else from fucking public, fuck that. Fuck that.
I mean, I understand. Believe me, I understand your fears, and you can do you can do whatever you think is best for your child. But
public education is just a waste of time. Also,
no, I don't disagree. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I can count on one hand the number of teachers that have taught me anything that I found valuable. It was a music teacher in middle school, my second year of middle school, whatever the fuck that is. My English teacher, my junior year of high school, and my third grade teacher, because I was in third grade when 9/11 happened, and she taught me some deep shit, and she quit because her fucking, I'm trying to remember it correctly, but I think it was her husband died on 9/11. He was like around the area. I mean, I live in New York, so it's not like the fuck.
That's
and she had, I can't even, she had a very frank discussion about her. She had a very frank discussion about the nature of life and death with us on 9/11. And we all went home with that. And that fucked me up for a long time.
yeah,
I would sit, as a young kid, I would sit in the shower and like be viscerally fucking ill from the thought that I'm going to fucking die one day. That's a lot to put on a fucking little kid, yo. But I get it. She was fucked up. It happened. But
yeah.
I don't know. So I've got 3 fucking teachers that actually like impacted my life in some real way. Like Mr. Halstead, the music teacher, said, if you're not good at high school, you better be goddamn good at something the fuck else. And that's exactly how he told us. Mr. Halstead talked to us like we were fucking people. And I'll never fucking forget that as long as I live. Yeah, and he didn't just teach us about music. He said, listen, some of you people in here don't give a shit about music. He was frank like this. He talked to us like this because he knew how we talked, so he just talked to us at our fucking level, right? Some of you kids, you don't give a fucking shit about music. You're never going to be a musician. This is not what you're here for, right? You're just here because the school told you had to be here today. He's like, so for those people, I'm going to give you some life lessons. And I'm going to teach you how to fucking play some songs on piano, like some basic stuff, right? In case later on you might be interested. So like, he would take us to like off-Broadway musical editions of things like Les Mis and 1776 and stuff like that. Stuff with a narrative that was interesting. And he would sit there and break it down. And then he would explain the history of music and stuff. He would make it interesting because he knew some of us just had to be there. But he would also, like, he had his list of things that you should do in life. Like, one of them is, like, you should go to Washington, D.C. and go to the Capitol and have a look around. He's like, all of these things should be on your bucket list.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he meant to do it like they did it on the day I can't mention.
No, this was long before the Jan 6 thing.
No, I know. I just reminded me of that. You should go to DC.
You should go to DC and burn it to the ground. You know what? If he could have spoke frankly, I imagine he might have said something like that. But this is when Bush was in the White House. This is before, you know.
Yeah, before the country
So
went to
he
hell.
probably, yeah, I don't think he was very fucking liberal. Very. Like, I don't know. Anyway. And then the third teacher, who, she's a woman, but her name was Antoinette, but we used to call her Tony, right? Because New York. Tony was an interesting person because she was an English teacher, but she was also a fairly well-known author, in that her book, she went on Oprah no less than 3 times to talk about her book. Because I don't want to dox myself, so I have to be a little vague here, but she fucking, her kid died. Like, a horrible fucking death from a disease, from an obscure disease for which at the time there was no real viable treatment or cure. And that made her absolutely fucking nuts. In the best way. She is fucking crazy. Because she is just constantly walking around with grief that no matter what she does, she can't fucking get rid of. And as an edgy teenager scene kid who was at that time a raging anti-theist. Raging. Right? That
So
was
were you like
fascinating.
raging like rage, or just raging like
rage. Like fucking, like, had anytime religion came up in any context, didn't matter what it was, I had to say something about it. I couldn't just leave well enough alone. I had to point out all the hypocrisy. I would actively pick fights with kids who I knew were outwardly like Christian, right? I would have verbal arguments in the middle of class, completely unrelated to the subject matter. Raging. And you know what was funny? Tony fucking encouraged it. And she would also like try to relate it back to what we were talking about and try to steer it as time, because she knew that I was some kind of fucking retarded, right? And I took fucking AP English classes and shit like that. And, so she knew that I was, but, like, she encouraged me to be who I am today, I'm not a raging anti-theist anymore, but I'm every bit the contrarian, shithead, gotta have an opinion about everything fucking guy that I am today. And she taught me some stuff about fucking life. And I kind of we kind of had like a master apprentice type fucking thing for a good 2 years there till I graduated. It was everybody in my school that gave a fuck about any specific topic became sort of like a disciple. There were a group of us who would just hang out with specific teachers just to learn what there was to learn from them, and not in the typical scholastic sense, like in a real fucking applied life sort of way.
I mean, that's how it should be, right? Not the way the school system is set up. There are some things that will definitely, that are definitely useful out there. Like,
But those are
I
the
don't know.
only 3 teachers, though. Every other teacher was very clearly there to get a paycheck or to boink a cheerleader on the down low. Of which now 3 teachers from my high school have been fired for boinking cheerleaders specifically.
Jesus Christ.
Granted, one guy got fired for boinking a teenager, but she was technically legal. He was fucking 18, but it was because he was boinking a student that it was the problem. You know. That guy, I don't know. I don't know. There's power dynamics involved in that are probably not kosher.
Yeah,
I mean, people say, fucking adult, fucking whatever, do what you want. But it could have been.
There's obviously different power dynamics between between adults, right? If you're just freshly 18, then it's somebody who's
Even
like,
if you're in college, you shouldn't boink your professor, and your professor shouldn't boink you. I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything crazy, am I?
no.
Other than that, 2 people who are legally able to consent, whatever. But I don't. I'm in the danger zone now. Talking about
Danger
things.
zone.
You can't talk about those things, William. Those things are not allowed to be talked about, William. Anyway, I'm done ranting about that. Because I could literally spend all day bitching about it. But did you see Steven Crowder's divorce?
No. Why is he divorcing?
Well, he's already divorced. It's been happening since 21, apparently.
Oh.
Like, his kids and my kid are like a couple of months, maybe, or weeks apart or some shit. I vaguely remember this. Because my kid was born in 21 also. And Candace Owens is involved, and I'm starting to agree with Maya Atkinson, and that's all I'll say about that.
I mean, okay, now I'm curious. But we could go off there if you like about it, but whatever.
Oh, there's raccoon terminology involved. That's what she said about Candace. But no, here's the situation. So Candace Owens has decided it's complicated, but Candace Owens is basically like, Crowder shouldn't talk about things about the Daily Wire. He wouldn't want his personal information about his hint, hint, wink, wink personal life released out there. Like thinly veiled threats that if he kept going after the Daily Wire, that Candace was gonna talk about his divorce, and then she did it because it wasn't public because there's kids involved, right? And so he says like, oh, you shouldn't try to like fucking thinly veiled like extort me. And then she's like, I didn't extort you. I'm going to take you to court, like a lawsuit. You know what I mean? Like the Von Helton sigil thing back in the day. And then she's like, well, as it so happens, we have this video from your Ring doorbell of you being not very nice to your pregnant wife. And it's like, well, thank God, everyone doesn't have fucking footage like that floating around out there.
Yep.
I don't recall it, and I'm sure my wife doesn't either, but I'm sure I said some fucking hateful shit to my wife when she was fucking pregnant. All right? Husbands and wives have arguments. Okay? And she's like, but she's coming at it from like, he's a Christian. He shouldn't do the blah, 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 blah. And we act like Christians are superhuman or something, like they're fucking levitating above the rest of us. It's like, Candace, you are a fucking spear merchant and you deserve hellfire, so I wouldn't be talking if I was you. You are a fucking grifter, madam. You are a fucking grifter. You fucking glow in the dark as well. Fuck you.
Terry Davis.
I can't. Oh, it is 9:56. I have things that I'm going to go do.
Yeah, I might as well just shut this down.
Yeah. Try to change topic, but I realized halfway through that there's way too much fucking nuance. Like, who fucking drags somebody's that's some Will Kincaid shit, by the way. Who drags someone's fucking private divorce out in the fucking public? Like, at least when I did that, though. When I was talking about personal shit, I was invited, not specifically, but generally, to go investigate certain situations, you know? Come
Yep.
here now, bitch, I believe was the terminology used. And all I did was oblige the particular individual situation that was involved, you know? All I did was oblige them. So I didn't go digging for dirt. I was invited to go to the dirt buffet.
So how was the dirt buffet?
It was delicious for several years. It was the most delicious. I found a potato and an ice cream cone. Of all things.
Hello, Richard Manson. You got here just as I'm about to end.
Hey, Dick, what's going on? God, I love that you could say that. Whoever said, yeah, Richard Dick, same name. That guy's fucking based.
I mean, how would you even get Dick from Richard? I can understand.
You can't. There's no. No.
Okay, well, that answers that question.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna end this 2 hours of Jews smack talking each other.
Yeah, and you know what?
This
The other thing is, the most interesting thing about me is not that I'm Jewish in vague ways, right? I have a camp, and if you'd like to see something interesting, I dug this really big fucking hole. You should come check it out. Because there's some very interesting things at the bottom of it that I found.
Jesus Christ, Will. The way you describe.
The showers are getting installed this year.
Okay, you know what? We're out.
I've been collecting.
We're out. No, we're out. That's
what? I wasn't